traders from across the globe. Thank you. This time for tuning into my 2996th edition of Short Term Trading Live with Oscar Carboni. Forget about thanking me. A special thanks and a round of applause for you veterans out there. Thank you so much for what you do. You allow us to sit here like wimps and do what we do. We thank you so much for that, because you don't see us on those front lines, right? You see them going to college, running the other way. Thank you for what you do. Thank you so much. What else are we going to talk about? Well, we'll talk about risk, because we always have to tell you about risk, because trading is risky, and no matter how long you've been doing this, I promise you, you could be trading 80 years, 8 years, or 8 days. It is as risky for all of us as it is for the 8-day trader. Put your stops in, put them in first, mitigate that risk, you'll live a lot longer. Traders, a topic has come to my attention, and I absolutely have to address this. I did address this same topic a few years back. I did a baby video where I came out crying, wearing a bib, wearing a bib and a baby hat, and had a little binky in my mouth, wah, wah, wah. And I'll tell you what that was about. I had some Omniacs writing into me saying, Oscar, there were no trade recommendations yesterday or today. Why don't you put out a trade for us? Why can't you just put trades out to make us happy? And I said to him, are you out of your mind? You want me to put out a trade just to make you happy? I'm a professional. The Omni is a professional system. Professionals wait for the system to put out signals. If you want to gamble, I live in Vegas. I haven't gambled. I've gambled $20 my whole life on that strip at 18 years. I trade the Omni. I don't gamble. But if you want to gamble, come on out to Vegas. Go on up to the strip and have at it. If you want to trade professionally, you will wait like any professional for your system to produce a signal. Now, the Omni the last few days has either waved us off or have been neutral. And I've heard a couple of you saying, hey, Oscar's not putting out any trades. Why isn't he paying attention to us? Why am I not paying attention to you? Do you know how many hours a day I do analysis and watch the markets for us Omniacs? And if it doesn't set up, all right, I wasted 19 hours today waiting for a market setup that didn't happen, and I fold my hands and I wait for the next day. You know what I don't do? I don't go around complaining. I don't go, Oscar, why aren't you sending trades? I want to gamble. If you want to gamble, Las Vegas, it's the best place in the world to do that. It's so much fun here. And you'll get free drinks too. So why don't you just get on a plane, come out to Vegas, get your ass to the strip, and leave me alone, because I will not apologize for being a professional, for acting professional, and putting out trades when I get the signal. I will not put out a trade because you would like that. It's not going to happen. If you want somebody who does that, go find some punk kid on the internet that's got no heart and he doesn't understand what losing people's money is like. What you take somebody who's got their life savings, they believe in you, and they follow you, and they lose it because you made up a trade because you felt your audience needed you? Seriously? That will never happen for me ever. When you get a trade from me, it has been researched. It's an Omni trade. It had all the homework has been done. Omni says to jump. I ask how high. If Omni says don't jump, I sidestep and I don't jump. So the last few days there have been no trades, and that's just the way Omni has been. If you recall, Omni flip-flopped for a whole week and then spent 3 days not trading. Well, that's what a system does. Should I go in and tweak it because you guys are sending me emails that you'd like trades? Maybe I should go in and fuck the system up that's been working since the 80s because you guys want me to trade more. Should I do that? I don't think that would be a good idea. I'm not going to go in and tweak anything. And again, I am not apologizing for acting professional. I'd expect you guys to act professional and wait for those trades to come your way. That is the best thing that you could do here. We do actually have an arrow tonight. If we get a fill, fantastic. If not, guess what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to run up the street and put a couple $100 down on the ace of spades maybe coming out because Oscar didn't fill my gambling bone today. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. I'm not going to do it. I don't suggest you do. But if you need to, you know what? You don't need to go to Vegas. Take out your phone. You can gamble. How about this? I could be standing there bouncing a basketball, and before I take the jump shot, you can bet on whether or not I get that in, and you can scratch that bone right now if you want, but don't expect me to scratch it for you. It's not going to happen. Professionals out there, when we get a signal, I promise you will get involved in the trading. What else is going on out there on the board? E-mini, S&P, NASDAQ, Russell, buy the dips, Omni tells us on Wednesday. All right, I'll do it. You've seen the markets pull back a little. We gave out targets in the E-mini, S&P last week. 3 targets. Target number 1, target number 2, nailed. After hitting target number 2, it just took off. It's not going to 3, obviously. Number 2 on the board, T-bonds and inflation. The charts say Powell lowers again in December, no matter what that stupid jaw of his yaps out. If we could just get him not to speak, do what you need to do, and shut up. If we could get him to do that, the markets will just operate. You know, he was good for a while, but I have to say, I lost all my faith in this guy. Oh my goodness, what has happened to you? Shut the yapper up at the next meeting, please. What's next? Omni Camp announced for December 12th through the 15th. There'll be an Omni Camp here in Las Vegas. After that, you guys are going to have to follow me to another country for an Omni Camp because it'll be out of this country. Last one we just did in Australia. Fantastic camp in Australia. We're going to do one here in December in Las Vegas. And then after that, I think we'll be back in Europe. If you want to join me, Omni Camp, 4 full days of education. You will learn how to plan a trade and trade that plan. Omni, Oscar's market navigational indicator. You want to learn the Omni in its entirety, how to call these fantastic trades? You come out to Omni Camp December 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th. It's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Very few of you will be accepted. Go to omnibootcamp.com now. Fill out those applications. We have 1 month. I'm not looking for a lot of you, but I will take a few of you. Go to omnibootcamp.com and let me know that you want to join me in December. It's the second weekend in December. Fill out those applications now. What else is on the board? Okay, traders. We don't have the figures yet for October. They're probably drawn up. I've been so busy between Australia and then Arizona and the wedding. I didn't ask for my numbers. Next video, I'll have the numbers. The Omni produced in October, Rocktober, if you will. What else? So, video number 2,996. That's 4 away. There's no way I can hold off the markets or the videos till we get to the price of 7,500. We were all hoping I could do 7,500 on my 3,000th video. The price of S&P at 7,500 while I'm doing the 3,000th video. I don't know that that could come together because it's video 2996. We got 7 weeks to go. Excuse me. We got 7 weeks to go, which tells me there's no chance I'm going to be able to do that for you. But hey, we'll see what happens. You know, I could do one video every 9 days and maybe get there. All right, so we're going to buy the dips. I'm going to show you charts. We have T-bond charts and inflation charts showing us why Powell will lower. You know about OmniCamp. What you haven't done yet is you haven't done your exercise with me, and you know what that is. Traders, we're going to go look at some great charts after that. But before, you need to hear about risk. And the way we do that is we talk about risk in the beginning of the video, and then we say this in every video, and many of my fans say it with me. I can hear you through the cameras. Are you with me? 1, 2, 3. Stop, sir. In. Emotions are rock and roll, traders. Now let's go look at some charts. Traders, the E-mini S&P, we have been Powellized about 10 days ago. Jerome opened up that yapper of his, and he threw a monkey wrench into the works, and down we went. Ba-boom. As we started to go down and fill that gap, I gave out 3 targets. 67.46. Bam! Target hit. Then I gave out 66.75 to 66.60. And bam, target number 2 hit. Now, it never got low enough to hit 66.39, but you can see why. It got here to target number 2, held the line. What else? Look at this moving average. That's sitting right here. You can see it goes all the way back to here. Holds, 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 tested, so far held. Now we have an Omni buy signal, and it's starting to go higher. Now, what would make the S&P go higher after Jerome spoke and we've been in this downward spiral, which only brought us to a technical point? The low was 66.55.5 with the target of 66.60. See what I'm saying, kids? All it did was bring us to a technical point. What would make it go back up? Well, let's take a look at the longer term. If you remember, while we were starting to drop, I showed you a chart and said, traders, don't get nervous. Look at the weekly chart. Does that make you nervous? Absolutely not. And I pointed this out to you and said, what could happen? We could get back to the trend line. Well, that's what happened. We went back to the trend line and held. And now we're all the way back here. So the weekly looks fantastic. Traders, if you remember, I put this chart out and I put out my 75.12 target as the tariffs were mentioned, and we crashed all the way down to 48.32. During this moment, I put out my year-end target for 75.12. Since then, and I mentioned, do not get out. Tariffs have been announced. Stay calm. Do not bail out of stocks. We have got targets. If you get there, we want you to get long. Well, guess what happened? The target got hit. Getting long was the right thing to do. We have rallied 2,200 points since the tariff low, bringing us to this high right here. Do you know how many points we have to go to hit 75.12 at this point? Last time I showed you this video, there was still 729 points to go. There's 546 points left. 7 weeks to go to hit 75.12. We're just about gracing 6,900 at the moment. Why not hit 75.12 before the end of the year? Looks like we could get there. 546 more points to go. Now, what would make the weekly stay bullish and what would make the daily start turning bullish? This right here. Jerome Powell is lowering rates and the bond market is finally starting to go into some kind of a rally here, right? Look at the lines I'm drawing. I'm no longer drawing trend lines with a chart filling in this on the way down. I'm drawing in trend lines now that are pointing up, and the bonds look good. This shows us that Powell will lower rates in December. We've got a December meeting. Actually, I think it's right around the same time as my Omni camp. We've got a December meeting, and Powell should lower based on what you see in bonds and in this chart. Traders, you are looking at the inflation indicator. This is the Bloomberg Commodity Inflation Index indicator. This was what happened during COVID. Bam! And we had our, if you remember, we had the supply issues and it just went out of control up to 140.55. That was the inflation number. It had come down dramatically after that, and now there's this. Will Jerome Powell lower rates still? Is he worried about inflation? Well, I just showed you that the bond chart says he's going to lower rates. Now, here's something I want you to look at. Inflation in the last 12 months before tariffs, right up to this line. Before tariffs. This was the inflation. It basically did this. This has been the inflation since the day of tariffs in April. It's in the exact same place, kids. Nothing has happened. You do not have a spike in inflation that's making things tough. You do not have a reason for the Fed to say we can't keep lowering rates because it'll spike inflation more. It's basically in the same spot since tariffs as it was way before tariffs, proving that tariffs have not created hyperinflation as the street had promised it would. So if you don't have inflation going crazy on the upside, what would be the reason for Powell to not lower rates? There is no reason unless he does it out of spite, and we don't need any of that to take place. So I wanted to show that to you, and then Omniacs and my Omni trading token. Look at this thing go, baby. So far, so good. Ever since our bull flag breakout, it has done well. We've had two mishaps since we started this Omni coin. One of them here, when an Omniac called me in a panic and said, "Oh my God, Oscar, I sold all my shares, what do I do?" And another one right here, the Omniac, different Omniac, called me or wrote in the comments down below to state, "Oh my God, that was a mistake I made on my iPhone." And I'll tell you exactly why this will happen from time to time. Luckily, we have Omniacs that come right back in and buy it straight back up, so nothing to worry about. Same thing here. But here's how that mistake could be made. on pump.fun, which is where I started this coin, right? So pump.fun. There is a button right here, and that button is the worst button I've ever seen in my life because it says sell all. Okay? There should never be a button that says sell all on anything, because if you hit it by accident, you sell all of your shares. So this has happened twice since we started this token. Now, luckily, we have OmniX that come in and go, well, if you're looking to sell, we'll take them. I love that. I love you, OmniX. I did the same thing. As soon as I saw it drop, I came in and bought it all the way back up. However, we don't need this to happen by accident. Could you, at pump.fun, could you get rid of that sell all button? It is nothing but a nightmare. It's created a nightmare 2 times so far for us OmniX, and we don't need a third. Get rid of the sell all button on pump.fun. I hope you guys are listening. Barring that, I'm having a great time on your platform. I hope to help you improve it in many ways. I will do beta testing for you if you agree to allow me to, but we will help your system get better, and I'd love to see you remove that sell all button. At least make it a choice that's a pull down menu and not sitting right in front of your eyes. Because this cost my Omniac money. We all bought it at, we bought his shares from him, right? By the time he got back in, he paid more. Poor guy, but that's what happens in trading. Sell all button is nasty. Barring that, Omni Trading Token is doing great. Thank you for all your support. I will be there to support you. The liquidity pool has been building up. Certainly the advertising, as soon as I'm done with this video, I've got an hour phone call with my 2 advertisers. We are going to make sure everyone in the world knows about the Omni Trading Token. Make sure you are long Omni Trading before the advertising campaign gets too big and too many newcomers get in. Buy your Omni Trading Tokens now. Traders, thanks for tuning in. I will see you all at livewithoscar.com.